Okay, now if we expand the equation x plus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 9, the equation of the circle would look very different. That means that if we take x plus 2 squared and then multiply it out, we would end up with x squared plus 4x plus 4. Plus, if we multiply y minus 1 squared, we get y squared minus 2y plus 1, which is equal to 9. And then if we combine like terms, we would end up with x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 2y, and then we'd have plus 4 plus 1, which is 5, and if we subtract 9 to both sides, we get minus 4, which is equal to 0. Now, what we'd want to do is, we want to go from this form back to this result. So this form of the equation is called the general form of the equation of the circle. The general form of the equation of the circle is the following: x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c, which is equal to 0. And if we are given an equation in general form, we can change it to standard form by completing the squares in both x and y. Then we can graph the circle using its center and radius. So for example number 10, we want to be able to find the center and the radius and then graph the circle x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 6y plus 4 equals 0. So the first thing we need to do, okay, here is that this is what our equation looks like. And what we want to do is we want to group the x terms and the y terms and then collect the constants on the right side. So we have x squared minus 4x plus n, which we don't know yet, plus y squared minus 6y plus m, which we don't know yet, which is equal to, and we brought the constant on this side, which is negative 4, plus n plus m. Now the reason why we're adding n and m is because we're going to have to complete the square, meaning we have to complete the square of the groupings for x, and we need to complete the square for the groupings for y. In order to complete the square, n has to equal 1/2 of the value of b and squaring it. Well, the value of b for x here is negative 4. So n is going to equal 1/2 times negative 4 squared. Well, what's 1/2 of negative 4? Well, half of negative 4 is negative 2. And when we square it, we get the value of 4. So now we know that n is going to equal 4, so we can replace these n's on both sides of the equation with 4. So here's 4 and here's 4 now. Now we need to complete the square for y, and we called that m. Now again, m is going to equal 1/2 b squared. Now if you look at the value of b for the y terms, it's negative 6. So 1/2 of negative 6 is negative 3. And when you square negative 3, you get a positive 9. And therefore we're going to plug in 9 for m. And now that we've been able to put those values in, we can then factor. So if you look at x squared minus 4x plus 4, that is a perfect squared trinomial. And it factors into x minus 2 squared. And then over here, y squared minus 6y plus 9 is also a perfect squared trinomial, which means it would be y minus 3 squared. And then when we add these values on the right side of the equation, negative 4 plus 4 is 0, plus 9 gives you 9. Now, another way of being able to figure out what these numbers are, if you follow these steps, you can see that this negative 2 is what we end up subtracting from this x. Same thing over here, we get m is negative 3 with what we had to square. You get y minus 3 squared equals 9. And now from here, we now identify what is the center and the radius. Well, the center of the circle is going to be 2 and then 3. And the radius of the circle is the number that you have to square to get 9, which is 3. And so the second part of this problem, we can go ahead and graph. So now we know that the center is going to be located at 2, 3. So we're going to move to the right 2 units and then up 3. And then the radius of the circle is going to be the value of